Well, welcome back to the Ropes Family Podcast. I believe this is episode 80. When the big 80s. There's nothing really significant about the number 80. I guess.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Or it's a little compared to a million.
Oh, that's true.
It's all relative. Numbers are just relative to wherever they're
It's true.
supposed to. And I guess that's like true for life too. Sometimes problems are big if they're, the problems are relative. But you can have a bigger problem than the problem you're having right now for sure. Usually.
Good point.
So that makes your problem now smaller.
All right.
Or you could have a smaller problem that you're having right now, so that makes your problem really big.
That's what happens to me sometimes.
Problems are relative. Problems are relative. So when we left off, we recorded that podcast early. We did not know that what kind of baby we would have.
Oh, yes.
So now we officially have a new crab. Her name is Eleanor. She's real sweet.
She's so cute.
She came at 37 weeks. She was 6 pounds, 7 ounces, 6'7" for those who are
6'7".
Yeah, I know. I think that trend's dying, which is good.
Please.
Thomas told me that they're starting to police themselves.
Oh, good.
They're like, don't say that anymore. So
thank goodness.
maybe Thomas is a little bit more keyed in on the
school
stuff down there.
School kids.
We need to have Thomas on the podcast at some point.
We do.
He's too cool for us, I think.
Thomas, you're not that cool.
I think maybe one day he'll come on. But anyway, so last week we talked about, what was I saying? Last week we talked about, does it matter going to church? And so this week it's kind of a piggyback off of that same thing. So what is the question that you kind of posed with this one?
Okay, so a parent actually asked me or told me, I don't have time for church. Is it okay if I just drop my kids off?
So it's, piggybacking off of last week's. And so what we decided last week, we kind of came to the conclusion is if you can be at church, you should be. Mm-hmm. It's tough. And are they talking about just Wednesdays or are they talking about Sundays?
She didn't specify.
Yeah, they just said, it's okay if I just drop my kids off.
Yeah.
My parents hardly ever went to, sorry, parents listening, they hardly ever went to church with me. Mm-hmm. And it worked out fine for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I have a relationship with the Lord. But did their relationship with the Lord suffer? Probably. Mm-hmm. And I think it's so crucial for our kids to see us as parents serving and attending and worshiping the Lord. Because if they can see that in one place, but if they see that at home, they realize the importance of it. Like my kids will ask me questions about faith all the time. And then it's partially, I'm a youth pastor, so I kind of speak into it a little bit more, but it's because they see us practice it at home. It's not like our faith isn't just like practiced on some random occasions.
Right.
Our faith is usually we try to practice our faith every day with our kids. Like our kids see the reverence that we hold. Mm-hmm. And going to church is a part of being a believer.
It is.
And if you don't have time for it, make time for it. Like what is in your schedule that's making you not have time? Mm-hmm.
Well, and I said the short answer is yes.
Yeah, you can drop your kids
because
off.
I would love to have your kids, even if you can't be here. Mm-hmm. I mean, come in, check them in, make sure I have your contact information. I would love to have your kids here.
Yeah.
But the long answer is no. I mean, I want you here. Your kids need to see you make time for church. Mm-hmm.
There's a place here for everybody.
There is. And it's not the building. We talked about this last week. It's not this building or a building in Lubbock. It is the people. Yeah. I mean, you cannot copy the relationships and the fellowship and even like the accountability you have in a church family. Yeah. Like these people are just completely different.
Yeah. And we see people, like we can have community necessarily in other places like basketball practice, but is that sharpening your iron? Mm-hmm. Out of the abundance of your heart, your mouth speaks, right? We talked about that last week. Mm-hmm. what are you filling your heart with?
Yeah.
You know, like, and if you're constantly filling your heart with the grind of taking your kids to practice or wherever they're going, or the grind of just having kids and life and all of those things, if that's where the abundance of your heart is, that's what's going to come out. And it's going to come out as burnout. It's going to come out as exhaustion.
Right.
It's going to come out as, you know, your relationship with the Lord is going to suffer.
It is.
And so, yes, bring your kids. We will do our best to minister to them. But you and I, Courtney, we only see your kids for 30 minutes to an hour a week, maybe twice a week, you know?
Oh, if you bring your kid every single time I could possibly have them, I would have them for 3 hours a week.
Yeah.
And that is a very small amount of time.
Yeah. What percentage of that is in a week? And how parents, we have our kids all the time.
Right.
So how much more effective ministering and discipling your kid can a parent be than I can? Mm-hmm. And I think that's like I think we've talked about that on podcasts before. My philosophy on family ministry is the parents. It's parents. It's our job, our privilege to disciple our kids. Mm-hmm. We are created to be our kids' parents. Mm-hmm. You know, that's how we're wired, especially if we have kids. You know, like I know if you don't have kids yet, this is kind of a hard thing to understand, but we are wired to be our kids' parents, and God put us specifically as their parents. Mm-hmm. And we have a duty, an obligation, a privilege to disciple them. Yes, we can take them to church and let the professional disciplers disciple them. Mm-hmm. But they can't be that effective. Like I was calling us, who are the professionals.
Oh, professionals.
We will do our best.
Mm-hmm. I love opening doors and like starting conversations with the kids, but I really love it when I get a text during the week from a mom that says, "Oh, you know, my child just asked, you know, about this because you said this, and they were wondering, you know, if this is connected or whatever." Mm-hmm. I love that. Yeah, because it fostered something in them to want to ask questions. Yeah, so they're asking their parents, who can answer them, or some of them text me and say, "Okay, I don't even know what they're talking about,"
and that's okay too.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I mean, Billy came home from church one time and was talking about dogs and throw up.
Okay.
And I was like, he's like, "I want to read that story again." And I was like, "Dogs and throw up, what?" So I put it on Facebook. I was like, "Hey, what am I missing?" And I guess somewhere they talk about dogs eating that. And that's what my son was obsessed with there for a while. But I had to ask Facebook because I was like, I don't even know what we're talking about.
I mean, I get it. But, and it's also a great thing because I have a personal example of this. Like Emerson has been asking a lot of questions lately, you know, of like things that you've talked about. Or even the other day she shared that she and a couple of her friends want to start like a Christian girls group.
It's so cool.
In the 3rd grade.
Yeah.
Like she loves it when her friends will come up to her and talk to her about the struggles they're having in their life. Like a little girl came up to Emerson and asked her to pray with her because her little sibling was having surgery, and Elliot had just had surgery. Mm-hmm. And so they knew that was like and I told her, I said, "Emerson, that's the light of Christ in you, and people can see that. You know how we pray for that every morning when we go to school? Let your light shine through. That's what that means." And the same thing you guys talk about, let your light shine, you know, like those things when they're modeled by parents and when they're brought up by churches and the staff and then modeled by parents, it can be so effective in your child's life. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we're going to talk about I think we all understand the answer to this question. You can drop your kids off, but please come. Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think, like in Proverbs where it says, it's Proverbs 22:6, it says, "Start children off on the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it." Mm-hmm. So if you're just dropping your kids at church, yes, they're being started off in the way they should go, but they see you not making it a priority. Yeah. So when they
get older,
graduate or whatever, or when they start driving even, they're like, "Hey, my parents don't go. Why do I have to go?" Yeah. I mean, I told you one time that I had parents look at me and say, Wednesdays are our only night off. We just can't do church too.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I mean,
yeah, that's tough.
I understand. I mean, we have something every single night too. I get that. But to me, church has to be
The priority.
a priority.
Yeah. Church has to be a priority. And I know that it doesn't seem like it. Like, and we're talking about Wednesday nights, Sunday morning, there's multiple opportunities to come to church, to be a part of the church. We talked about that last week. Mm-hmm. Make it a habit or a part of your weekly rhythm to have church involved. Make it a priority. And I know Wednesday nights are kind of hit or miss, and that's okay. Sunday mornings, whichever, pick one or pick both. Like growing up, I never went to Sundays. I only went to Wednesdays.
I was opposite.
Yeah, like I only went to Wednesdays, and so I never really understood like big church.
Yeah.
It was kind of scary. It was like, what are they doing? This is crazy, know. But as I grew up and I realized, okay, there's differences. You get both Sunday morning and Wednesdays have a different purpose.
Completely.
In the liturgy of our church. Like I would say Wednesday nights is kind of like an outreach, general discipleship, like general kind of thing. Sunday mornings is a worship service. So we point people to the Lord. And we do that on Wednesday nights too. We point the kids to the Lord. We point people to the Lord. But there's also, in youth, there's small groups. And that's where discipleship happens. That's where our iron gets sharpened, iron sharpens iron, is in the small groups. And then those things in the conversation. Same thing in Sunday school. That's where our iron gets sharpened. We have a topic we talk about, and you can go and bang up against other Christians and get sharpened. Good iron. That's where you find the good iron, is in those kind of things. So, and like I said last week in the last episode, is don't just be a participant. Or don't just be an attender. Be a participant. I say it backwards every time.
It's like, I know what you meant.
Be a participant. Don't just be an attender. Because the iron is there. The good soil is there. But you have to be planted into it. You have to be sharpened up. We have to rub shoulders if you want to grow in your faith and if you want to model that for your kids.
It's not always comfortable.
No.
I mean, you walk into if you've never been to that church, whatever church it is, and you walk in and you don't know a soul. I mean, you said this last week, say hi to someone.
Yeah.
I mean, most people are not going to be snobs.
Yeah.
They're going to say hi to you. They're going to ask you a question. They're going to do something.
Yeah, howdy doody time is wild to me. We're not supposed to call it howdy doody time. It's the greeting time. But it is a introvert's nightmare. It is so, but it doesn't stay that way though. Like if you are actively participating, it's going to get more comfortable.
Yeah.
So just do it. There's been a couple of people join our church over the last 6 months or so, 6 months to a year, and they just got right to it. They were involved right away. They didn't, and some people are great at that. Sometimes it takes 7 years for people to join the church, but be involved, be a participant, have an ownership in it. And you can't do that if you're dropping your kids off. Your kids can have all the ownership and the participating, but it's so crucial for you to come. So crucial for you to model that for your kids. Like you said, that's such a good point, is we see teenagers leaving church after high school. We see them. And I think part of the reason is because it's been modeled that it's not important anymore. Yeah, let's raise our kids up in the way they should go, but what about raising our adult kids in the way they should go? And how we do that is we do it ourselves. It's not, we could open up a big can of worms. I'm not going to, on this podcast, it's easy to listen to, easy to digest podcast. I'm not going to get too far into the weeds in it, but
it is important, even if your kids to me, it's important, even as our kids get older, to keep modeling and to keep pushing them to go to church and to follow the Lord and to be involved in church. And I think as parents today, we're more out to just be like, oh, you don't want to? Oh, you're tired? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll leave you here. I'm going to go ahead and go, but
yeah,
I'll leave you here, where several years ago, that would have never been a choice. I'd have been
Yeah.
like, get up, come on.
Mm-hmm.
We're all going, get up.
Yeah.
And I think that's hard to, in this day and age, to be like the mean parent or
Yeah.
the
We've all
whatever.
been drugged to church before. Right?
Yes.
And sometimes we use that in a negative comment. I was drugged to church. My
Yeah.
whole life. But don't make your kids probably need to start dragging you to church, actually. You know, I really believe in the family is part of God's plan to reach the nations. The family is a small model of a church, and the family grows spiritually by being with other families that are growing spiritually. It's the same thing. Iron sharpens iron. So it's so refreshing to me as a dad, as a family, our family, to have other families around us that are going through the same thing we're going through.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's so refreshing to. I know we talked about Jessica and JD last week, but they're in the same boat.
Yeah.
They have a baby, brand new baby,
And a lot of other kids.
and a lot of other kids. You know, like we are in this, and it's so refreshing to have other families that were just like they're going through it too.
But you also have the same outlook on raising your family. Like you're both, you know, church-based,
Yeah,
Jesus-loving families. You're not
yeah,
making connections with a person that you met at football practice or whatever, that you're like, I don't know where they stand on Jesus. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know anything about them, but they have a baby too.
yeah,
So I think that's cool too, to know that the people that you're hanging out with or have things in common with, you also have Jesus in common with.
yeah. And I think that also another good point to that is there's other families here that are in another stage of life that have a bunch of kids, right? Like they've all gone through this before.
Right.
They were right here with us. They were right here where we were 10 years ago.
Yes.
You know, and so it's encouraging to see that and how they've made it and how they've managed it. And that's the beauty, I think, of church. That's where the iron can really come into play, you know, and you don't find that. You know, you can see that on Facebook. You can see that at practice. You can see that at football games or on the sidelines or wherever you are. You can see those things, but where is it intentionally spoken about? Where is it intentionally Christ-centered? And it's at church.
Right.
So I think that, you know, and you don't have to sell me on church.
Oh, no, me either.
And that's kind of, and I know we're coming at that from that kind of perspectives. You don't have to sell us on it because I'm all in, you know?
Well, even a few times, you know, I've been a photographer for a long time. My clients have been like, well, why can't you do Wednesdays?
Yeah.
Well, because I have church. And I'm like, you go to Wednesday church? Yeah.
I thought that was for the weirdos.
That's what I do. But their faces are, you know, just their questions. Oh, I had no idea you would go to Wednesday church.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
In fact,
Don't know what to tell you.
my youth pastor's wife came over to take our newborn pictures of Eleanor because she had taken all the others. But it was, and before she left, she prayed with us, prayed over us. And I thought, that is so refreshing. That is the body of Christ. And that's what coming to church and having church family and church people around you, other Christians around you, can do. They can bring you so much joy, so much, they can walk alongside you. And it was so, and not just because she's my youth pastor's wife, or I think that really, like, she cared for us as believers.
Right.
She cared for the kingdom work that we're doing, that other believers are doing. She cared. And she could see it in our evidence, or she could see it in our family, like what we're trying to do. And she prayed for us to have strength. She prayed, and that's just one thing that you don't find somewhere else. The photography thing brought that up because you said she's not a photographer anymore either, but this is kind of how it works. You do photography and then you just don't do it anymore.
I bet I quit and still do it. So I have 2 newborns in the next 2 weeks. I have 6 sessions in the next 2 weeks, but whatever.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
But I think that's such a, like, the impact that church people can make on a family's life is monumental
Yeah.
And I'm not saying people that aren't in church can't impact people's life, but they can. But in order to grow in faith, being around church people is important.
I agree.
You got anything else? Okay. Family challenge.
Yes.
For church.
Yeah.
You got a family challenge?
If you do not have a church, find one.
Yeah.
Visit one.
Yeah.
Come here. We'd love to have you. If you do not want to come here, just find somewhere.
Yeah.
And if you've never been with your kids, come with them.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a Wednesday night, we have food
Yeah.
here. And then we have class for the adults, class for teens, or you'll have youth group, and then we have class for kids.
Yeah. And a nursery.
Yeah, and the nursery. So we would love to have you.
There's a place for everybody, and you are more than welcome. And don't feel like you're not welcome. It is, so hold on, and I will give you a caveat for our church specifically. If you are coming to our church on a Wednesday night, there is a lot going on.
Yes.
And it's okay. It'll calm down. You just got to give it a second.
You got to get all the kids.
Yeah.
As soon as they eat and go outside, you can calm down.
There are sometimes over 100 kids in this building, all trying to eat a Frito pie or
It's
whatever.
rough.
And so sometimes it's crazy and loud.
Yeah.
But there are also places there are places for parents to go and kind of retreat, and just kind of be away from kids. There's a place. But then once everybody goes where they're going, there's great biblical conversation. There's great iron sharpening conversation. So yeah, there is a place for everybody on Wednesday nights. And if Sunday mornings, that's another good thing. Part of being a participant is coming to Sunday school. That's where your iron gets sharpened. Your cup can get full in Sunday mornings, but your iron can get sharp in Sunday school.
It doesn't start till 10, so.
Yeah, it's late. You have your kids at school at 5:45 in the morning. You could
You can be
at Sunday school at 10 in the morning. And I know I say that, and we struggle to get here on time too. So I listen.
But it's also stages of life.
Stage of life, and nobody's gonna care. Nobody's gonna judge you.
No, and if you're late, no one cares either.
But be here early because you'll miss out on sausage biscuits.
Yeah, you miss the food.
Yeah,
food's a big pull.
Yeah, the food is a big pull. It's really good too. But anyway, yeah, if you don't have a church, find a church. There's a by God's grace, there's a bunch of good churches in this area. And it takes a little bit of research to figure out which ones are good and which ones are bad. It's not hard. But by God's grace, there's a lot of good churches that would love to get you plugged in. But that's the point, is you've got to plug in. It's not just you go and have your cup fill. It's go and be a participant. It's not just go and drop your kids off.
Yep.
It's come. And that's all we got this week. Next week, I think we're going to talk about words. Bad words, good words.
All of them.
All the words. And then we're going to talk about the word with the word.
It's good.
We're going to let the word of Christ dwell within us richly. Speaking of that, I'll probably have an announcement next week on this podcast. So stay tuned. We'll talk to y'all next week. Peace.